Oh, happy Memorial Day to all of you out there who may or may not watch this. Especially those who don't watch, but I will also say, especially for the ones who watch too. I do appreciate all of you, obviously, but there are many, many more out there who don't. And on a day where we remember those who gave their lives and have given their lives, we show appreciation for those who have given their lives, but also remember those who have lost their lives trying to keep this world a safe place, trying to help people, trying to thwart evil, and yeah, it's a day worth putting your mind towards as far as yeah, taking a moment to think about those who've paid the ultimate price for making sure that we have a place to live in, that we can be free, and even no matter how much we are concerned about our freedoms being taken from us, we have had a nice bit of time here, history, and I think it will continue to go on where our freedoms are preserved. And thank you to those who have gone before us and who have who have paid the price with their lives to keep us safe. So, having said all that, what we will do here today is play one of the least American sports of that we play here on the channel, and that, I mean, one could argue golf is pretty started well overseas, but soccer is a sport embraced even in the U.S. now a good bit, but we're still at a place where it lags behind the other sports. And not to besmirch it, but one would argue on a day like today that we should be playing good old baseball, but lots of other people play baseball on a day like today. So instead, we will go against the grain, not conform, and so we will see how this goes. Hi, Ken. I have tried to incorporate as much as I can on the screen here. Sometimes I think I should just go with the old either card flipping or dice rolling, and if it takes me 3 hours to play the game, then so be it. Not to mention, I said that it's not the most, that it's well supported overseas, but quite frankly, yesterday was one of the bigger days that you have, which is kind of relegation Sunday, Champions League, basically your decision day. I don't know, whatever you call it. There's a lot of different ways you can call it. It's not really decision day, but it's basically where the Premier League establishes their final order for the year, and it can mean a relegation fight. Not always. This year, I think it was pretty much decided about a month ago or more. The league was decided a month, but you had all these teams playing for Champions League spots, and unfortunate for teams like Aston Villa and Nottingham Forest that they didn't get it done. But there's always next year, but it is tough to repeat in the Premier League. The Premier League is ever evolving, and yeah, the same teams are usually in those top 2 or 3 spots, but as you can see, even with a team like Manchester United, they had a rough go of it this year, but they played spoiler yesterday, and quite frankly, so didn't the officiating, which is a bone of contention, but depending on who you root for, you'll think that it was perfectly legitimate officiating. But anyway, that's neither here. So I mentioned relegation. Well, this is a situation here, this game, which is not necessarily the most titillating game out there. This is Fulham hosting Burnley at Craven Cottage. You will see they are currently in the relegation zone. Fulham has yet to win a game. Burnley does have a victory. That's the only reason that they are, well, they're actually tied, but that's the reason they're above Fulham, is because they actually have a win versus, they're also, their goal differential's a little better, but still, it's not a very sexy game. But both teams have supporters, and a lot of them, and it was the next game on the schedule, and it's like, okay, let's go. Let's do it. We will see how two teams that are occasionally starved for offense handle APBA soccer. I didn't go, I already have done the team setups and everything. We could have gone through that, but I didn't. Or I did, but you didn't. So let's go through the lineups real quick. And actually, a couple things that I probably should have done here. So this is the match stats I keep on a sheet here. I'm not going to put it on screen because I have about everything I can put here. You got 12 for defense, and then you've got 6, that's 18, 19, 20, 21 for Fulham. So if you look, it's 4 defense, 3 mid, 3 forward. So 4-3-3. And the way I set things up, I don't necessarily just go by the designations as far as like when I've done analysis on how teams have lined up, and there are times where you have I don't think there's any players here in this particular set that what do you want to say? In lots of cases you have defenders that APBA has rated as a midfielder, or a guy who plays defensive midfield that APBA rates as a defender. And I don't know if that's on pure stats, if that's if it's doing some lineup analysis and just deciding that they fit better. I don't know. There could be a variety of reasons. I've never met John Herson or any if he has helpers, any of the ones who have done the ratings. But what I try to do is I try to do match analysis from the season and kind of come up with some finders. Also figuring out what formations they tend to use throughout a season, and then I have some roles to decide, okay, well, it's going to be a 4-2-3-1, and then I go and try and figure out what players fit the players where they belong, and also I have a role for based on injury rating. They need rest, so some games we're going to have guys who need to take a rest. I also have some analysis on how much they've appeared in my replay so far, just to try and manage things. But what I'm trying to get at is, like, for instance, in the Burnley side, you'll see that there is a forward, Vidra, who is quite a bit down below some of the midfielders, and that's just the way it ends up. And there are times Dwight McNeil lines up as a forward. There are times that he may line up as there's probably more times he lines up as a midfielder, but he's listed as a midfielder. I just use their ratings that are listed on the card to determine what the number is. So like for this 4-3-3, it's a 21. And I feel like they kind of did this because it's similar to the baseball 3-2-1 system. It's obviously it's different with baseball because you got shortstops that can go up to 9, and sort of like the middle infielders are given a greater breadth of ratings and stuff. But I feel like that's kind of why they do it this way, just to kind of try and allow you to tune team defense. If you get to be too few of defenders or too many forwards, it can change the way that, or if you stack it with defense, it will increase your team defense. But anyway, so this is 12. So there's so 8, so 12. It's a 22 for a 4-4. But I guess what I'm saying is it's not necessarily a 4. This is 4-4-2 as far as like how these work out. But I think Burnley actually may have been a 4-4-2 because they played a lot of that in 2020, 2021. But I think Fulham was 4-2-3-1, and so I think Anguissa and Lamina are the holding midfielders, and I think Harrison Reed is an advanced midfielder. I think Lookman and Reed are on the wings, kind of outside attacking midfielders, and Ivan Cavallero is your forward. So anyway, for what it's worth, it may not be worth much. Maybe I overthink these things, but that's kind of the way I do it, and everybody has their own methods. I would move this closer to this, but I have a little support right here that is in the way. So, and I could move these things over, but then I've got something, I don't know. It's the, it's messing a little bit with what small bit of OCD I might have. It is kind of throwing it off, but if you were really OCD, it might really throw you off. So let me look at these comments before I do all USL lately. Every corner Okay, Ken. Well, Ken says that John doesn't impart a whole lot of influence over the soccer part of it, that he must have people who are more versed in soccer, that he lets them be conducting and coming up with the ratings and things like that, which is probably for the best. But again, yeah, I mean, my guess is that people, everybody has their limits to how much, analysis can really make sense, and sometimes you just have to go with what, the other thing is, who knows, maybe there's a certain balance you need to have as far as like how the team performed versus like as far as like overall goals allowed versus goals scored. There's a lot of push-pull there, as with any sports game, that pure ratings, you may have the best defender, you may have the best defensive outfielder in the league. Maybe you have two of them, but if the team isn't performing, then it's kind of not fair to the person playing the game to then go through and have things work out weird and a team overperform because they had like great defense for whatever reason. So there is a balance there. And anyway, so another thing I forgot to do is I have I could show you. Maybe this will be instructive for not that way that I have it set up. Let me see. I'm going to set up another scene and put this full desktop over here. So this is basically the way that I come up with the teams, as you can see there. And this is rough, but it's just to walk you around it, since it is a day off from work and I have time, and maybe you don't, but we will anyway. So these are D6s, and so what I do before each game, and you can see down at the bottom here, I have a page for each team. I copy these and then paste values over here, so then that ends up with dice, and then hidden here in this little section right here is all of the base ratings. So you analyze the dice versus what their rating is, and That's why the guys that are in red are not fit for the match, and they may show up in the substitutes, but not in the starting lineup. And then over here, I have some relatively. I don't want to say they completely. Well, I don't know. It's where they've shown up, and again, it gets really weird when you have a bunch of formation types. And I use football-lineups.com for most of that analysis, which that seems to be about the best site for actual breaking this stuff down. But then again, I don't know how good they are. If it's, let's say, a 4-5-1, that becomes, left midfielder versus left wing. Or do they count, or if it's like 4-2-3-1, do they count it as them all a striker? I don't know. It's like it gets to be, and it's all about. I used to do a lot of formation analysis. It was sort of, it helped me understand the game some, but again, it's all in this personal interpretation of, and a lot of times it's what does the coach want, and you should just ask them. But maybe the coach doesn't want to let you know because that's giving information to the opponent. So, it's all really subject to interpretation, and one person's 4-3-3 is another person's 4-5-1 or 4-2-3-1, or so. I guess what I'm saying is take the Michael Coxes of the world with a grain of salt. If something looks one way to you, maybe you might be right, you might be full of crap and need to or you just go and you watch the soccer game and you enjoy it and don't get too nitpicky as far as what the actual tactics are. Because one coach may tell them, oh, you need to be in this strict formation. Another coach might just go run around, do what you feel like you are best at. And anyway, so what was I going to roll for? Well, what I was going to roll for is right here. This isn't quite the most pretty table, but over here I have corner kick takers. And again, this one I used the football reference or footy reference, whatever it's called, to get the number of times that players took corner kicks. And I'm just using one stock one for each match. And if a player isn't in the match, then tough. But Lookman is, so Lookman will be the corner kick taker for this one. And Lookman is a B. It says it on his card. And then we can switch over to Burnley. It's either Westwood or McNeil. There's only two, looks like, based on my analysis. And it'll be Westwood. And Westwood is a B. So both teams are B. I've changed my table setup here to have more of what's there showing up on the screen for the most part. So again, trying to get as much in here as I can, and whether you can see it very well or not is up for interpretation. But if anything needs to be adjusted, you can mention it. I might try, but let's see. What are we gonna do? Let's I'll do a quick D20 roll. 1 to 10 means Fulham will start the first half with the ball. 11 to 20, it'll be Burnley. That's a 12, so Burnley will get the ball, and Fulham will take the second half kick. So let's see. Is there anything else I need to set here before we go? I've thought about free kick takers, doing that, and I decided that. What did I decide? Oh, I decided that when there's a free kick and a shot that's generated from a free kick, I'm going to let the player control chart choose that player, because you have a lot of times where guys fight over who's taking the free kick, and the corner kick is usually pretty. I mean, the guys who want to score don't want to be over taking the corner kicks. But it's a different mechanism, pretty much. And anyway, that's an overgeneralization. Plenty of guys who want to score take the corner kicks, but it's usually set by the coach. Anyway, let's get going here. So start the game. Let's just refresh, and that will get us the kickoff will be B6. And we said Burnley had the kickoff, so B6. So now I'll move it from on the away side. You can see right over here I have. So 43, that's probably going to be a foul, right? 6 is Tarkowski, 43 is a foul. Yep. He committed a foul. The player ID is 5, which is foul suffered 5 is Harrison Reed. I'll tell you what. Let's have some fun. Let's do it a little different here for. Let's see, where do I have a white die out here? Well, I'll use my baseball dice. We'll use dice rolls for shots, saves, and card determination here. No card, that's a 55. Just so we do have some dice. But anyway, that's a free kick X for Fulham. So let's roll it there. The free kick in X goes to C. You can see it right there. And then we come over here, C3. Where's 3? That'll be Bobby Reed. 25 is going to be 43. So we go to 43 on this chart here. C is going to be a header to C, and the loose ball chart has Fulham. Also, Burnley will have the advantage in the team rating. So that means that Burnley should win more of those loose ball, the 50-50 chances, but Fulham will retain, so it's C3 again. So let's roll it. 66. Okay, well, here's a shot chance for Bobby Reed. Player ID 3 is going to be, that'll be assist rating 3 is Reed himself, so there's no assist adjustment, no assist possibility here. Instead, we take his shot on goal, which is 24, and we add 1 to make it 25. So let's refresh it. Or no, we're going to roll dice here. So 25, and at 16, that's a shot on goal. And now we're going to roll on Nick Pope. He's going to make the save. 35, he will. That'll be a rebound C, correct? No, rebound B. So first save, and then loose ball is Burnley. I can go off the chart up there, so it's going to be X6. All right, so a good chance there for Fulham to score, but Pope was good enough to make the stop, and they collect the rebound. So 30 in X is going to be a defensive check, and we go to, let's see, that means that Fulham is defending their team defense of 2, header to E. Burnley maintains it, so E6. So it'll be Tarkowski with it again. 65 for Tarkowski, 28 in E, pass to F to Johan Gudmundsson. 64 is 44, and in F, that's out of bounds. So, and again, I've changed things up a little bit. So this is the clock. I don't know if you, hopefully you guys can understand. This is the minutes and this is the seconds. We'll see how it goes. I may make a little adjustment. I don't know if this is going to put the tens digit off the screen or not, but we'll find out soon enough in about 6 minutes. All right, so it was an out of bounds off Burnley. So both I don't know if I mentioned, I have both teams at 4-4-2. I figure these are both kind of, they're struggling teams, but both of them are going to want to try and have a balanced attack here, try to score goals. So, all right, throw in Fulham. It's going to be throw in as D4. That'll be Andre Frank. 22 is 4 in D, and so we take 4 and go over to D. That's a shot. Player ID is 8, and I don't think Lamina will have an assist rating, so we will give him an assist if it's scored, but we don't make any adjustment for that. It's weird. I don't know whether to give assists. I guess because this is sort of a, it's not an as-played replay. So I do give assists, unless it's the goalie. That's kind of, it's not particularly realistic. But all right, so Anguissa, shot from D, no adjustment. So that's 24 again. So let's roll our D6s. 26, that'll be a shot off target for Anguissa. And then let's do a re-roll on, so that's going to be a corner kick. 10 on the missed shot chart. So that'll be Lookman B. And you notice there, for some of these things, we move the clock. Other things, we hold it, and I hold it when it's a shot sequence. But now with the corner kick, we'll move it. So right over here is the corner kick results. So past area B, corner ID is 5. So that'll be Harrison Reed. And then a header shot. And as far as I know, there's nothing different about the header shot, except maybe they have done some analysis. I don't know. Maybe it's just to give a little more. I haven't found any reason that the header shots are any different than regular old shots, unless you're just trying to keep track of that. But so Lookman has an assist rating of 4, which means you adjust 1. And then B is going to be +3. So Reed is 23, so we add 4, which is going to make it 31. So let's roll our D6s again. 33 will be a missed shot for Reed. And then I like to re-roll for the missed shot chart. And that's another corner kick. So 2 corner kicks so far. Let's see. Area B in shot B4. So that'll be Anguissa. Again, we'll add 4 to Anguissa. That'll make him 32. Huh? That'll be a shot. Made a shot on goal. So now we need to check Nick Pope again. 54. That is going to be a special save result. Special action chart. We go to that. Now we will re-roll. And let's see what it says. 16. Great outlet. Player number 2 to player number 1. Cross pass to player 3 in A. Shot taken. So this is a save. And then a break the other way by Burnley. Player 1, which would be Chris Wood, plays a cross into Josh Brownhill in A, and a shot is taken. So we're going to have some extra stuff to calculate in here. So the player 2 doesn't matter. It's player 1, Chris Wood, who has an assist of 3. So that'll add 1. Zone A is 5. So we add 6 to Brownhill. He's 21, so it goes up to 31 for this shot. Now we've had 2s and 1s on the red die so far. We get another 2, so that's going to be another shot on target. Brownhill. And now it'll be Alphonse Areola trying to make the save. 56 is 10. That is a goal. Against the run of play, Burnley gets the first goal with an assist from Wood, and that's 1-0 to Burnley. Crazy. The special results can bring about some wacky stuff. I don't remember what Burnley is. They might be the Clarets. Fulham's the Cottagers, but I don't 100% remember Burnley. I feel like they might be the Clarets, but they may be one of these teams that has a couple different names. You know, usually teams have a name based on one of their colors. Not usually, but oftentimes. But, well, anyway, we got a score. Burnley is ahead of Fulham in the stand. Actually, so in this season as well, in 2020, 2021, Burnley escaped relegation. They finished 17th. So 3 teams get relegated. So if you had a guess, I mean my guess for this game would be a draw, but Burnley beating Fulham would not be a surprise. I think it would be a little bit of a surprise if Fulham wins this, but they are the home team. So anyway, Burnley 1-0 in the 5th minute. I got to write that down. And that is, my understanding of Burnley would be that's a relatively commonplace thing, would be a against the run of play, counter-attacking goal. So Wood, the assist. Brownhill, the goal. One last thing we can look up here is for Brownhill. That'll be his first goal of the year. And Wood's first assist. Not too many goals scored by Burnley so far in this season. So, all right, we'll restart with a kickoff. Be kickoff for Fulham to B3. Be Bobby Reed. 35. Get the dice. 35 is 26, right? Yeah, 26. B is C3, so he'll end up with the ball again in C. Reed has had the ball a good bit here so far. Okay, another special result. This time just off the regular special chart. 14. Player in control is a recipient of a hard tackle as the ball goes out of bounds. Player is shaken and receives attention from the team doctor on the sidelines. Player's team must play a man short for the number of minutes equal to a 1 to 6 dice roll. Injured player's team has the option to replace the shaken player. Well, let's see. That's a 5, so 5 minutes. Let's see, what was the player in control was Reed, so I'm going to mark this down here. This is in the 7th minute. All right, we're not going to change anything about, I guess what we would do is we would remove the 1 from the team defense, which puts them at 20. So for the time being, we just need to factor Fulham's team defense at 1 until we're over. And also, if a ball goes to slot 3, then it is a then it's a turnover basically, and the opposing team gets the ball in 6. Hi, Dwayne. Hope you have a good Memorial Day here. So the way we'll get this restarted is we will assume Burnley gives the ball back to Fulham in X. So let's just we'll move it, and so it'll be X6. So it'll be Lamina in X. 23, that'll be a foul committed by Lamina. Player ID 6 for Burnley for foul suffered is Tarkowski. And no card. Yeah, so that was in the 7th minute. So we got to get to the 12th minute before we can flip Reed back over. So that was a foul on Lamina, so it's going to be a free kick in zone X. So it'll go to B5. Matej Vidra. Might be Vidra. I think it is, actually. 39 in B is defensive check. And 1 for Fulham is a steal to A2. So it'll be Cavallero in zone A. So a great chance here if he can get a doubles roll here. But it's 56. It's 45. That will be out of bounds. So that's bad luck there for Fulham, trying to get a goal back here, down 1-0. So we're getting a throw in. That'll be E5. That'll be Vidra again. .32, 40 in E will be a header to E. Burnley wins the header, so it'll be 7. That'll be Ben Mee in E. 24 is 40 in E. That's another header E. Burnley wins it. E7. It's going to stay right there. 22 for me is going to be 4 in E. E4 is a shot. 2 is for assist rating is Chris Wood, who they'll add 1 but subtract 3 for E. So that's a subtraction of 2 for Ben Mee. So he goes from 24 down to 22. It's 53. So that's a missed shot for Ben Mee, and we re-roll to see what the result is. That'll be a corner kick for Burnley. All right, we're almost ready to wave Reed back on, but let's get the corner kick done. Past area B, B1. So that'll be Chris Wood. 31 for Wood is 34. in B. It's a defensive check. All right. The referee is waving Bobby Reed back on. So they're back up to team defense at 2. So defense, right? Let me double check. 31 is 34. 34 is defense. So then we go to, for Fulham, it's going to be team defense of 2. So it's header to D. Burnley wins it, so D4. Sorry about that. It's just got to kind of keep everything straight here. All right, it'll be Ashley Westwood in D. 26, he is fouled. By Ola Aina. And no card. But that'll be a free kick in D, so this will be a good opportunity for Burnley. Free kick in D. It's a pass to B, and it'll be 4. So, yeah, that'll still be Westwood in B. 22, Westwood has a 46. Doubles can be good, but here it is not. It'll be out of bounds, and we're in the 14th minute with a 1-0 lead for Burnley. Give me a second here. I'm gonna taking a little respite here. So, well, you'd think that they'd have Burnley's nicknames on Footy Reference, but they don't. But now we'll look at Wikipedia. Burnley FC. The Clarets. Shouldn't have doubted myself. So, and they've been promoted, so they will be back in the Premier League in the fall. So, fun. So that was out of bounds, so it'll be throw in for Fulham D8. So that'll be Adara. Oh boy, I knew I should have looked at it. He's got in quotation marks Tosin. Let's call him Tosin. Adara Bioyo is probably how you say his name. Pen over there. Anyway, so right, D8. We'll rotate it. 32 is 38. In D is a defensive check. Fulham is 2. Blocked X. Burnley wins it, so it'll be X6. It'll be James Tarkowski in X. $56 for Tarkowski's 35. In X, that's a defensive check. Blocked. Wait, did I might have. Well, I don't think it makes much of a difference, but I think I might have messed up on the last one. It didn't matter because the opponent won, but this time we checked Fulham's defense, which is 2. It's blocked E. Burnley, E9, so they will get it in E. And it will be Matthew Lowton. 35 is going to be 28 for Lowton, and E is going to be F8. Goodmanson in F. 43. Sometimes that's a foul committed, but instead it's 33 this time. That'll be a defensive check. Now we look at Fulham at 2, and it's steal to E. So a straight steal to E, and it'll be 3. It'll be Bobby Reed in E. 62 is 36 in E. That's a defensive check. Block to X. Burnley wins it, so X9. Going to start kicking it into another gear here just to kind of keep this thing moving. So 9 is Lowton. 55, no low number, so 31. Defense, header X. Burnley wins it, so X5. That'll be Vidra. 16 is 44. In X is going to be out of bounds. 18th minute, still 1-0. It's going to be a throw in X8. That'll be Adara Bioyo. Let's see. Let's go to Google. How to pronounce Abdul Nasir Adara Bioyo. I was pretty close. Adara Bioyo. I think that's exactly what I said. Never should I doubt myself. Wrong. All right. So Adara Bioyo in F. And then we roll at 44. It's gonna be 43 in F will be out of bounds. Throw in to Burnley, 53. No, not 53. Throw in F2. That'll be Dwight McNeil. Whoops. 52, 33. Defense check X. Burnley wins it, so X10. Charlie Taylor. 61. It's a 29. Defensive check, header to F. Burnley wins at F5. So that'll be Vidra in F5. Or 66 is 1 in F. That'll be a shot. It's going to be a long shot. -5. Player ID 1 is going to be McNeil, who is a 5. So we take 4 away from Vidra. 43, 23, 22, 21. So 16. Not very likely he's going to have this on target. And sure enough, well off target. But they have a chance. Maybe they'll get a corner out of this. Nope, it'll be goalkeeper outlet. So the goal X10. So it'll be Anthony Robinson, the American. Uh, 52 is 21. In X will be F9. Joaquin Anderson, 46. Sometimes that's a foul suffered, but his rating isn't high enough. So 26 in F is going to be defensive check. For Burnley, there are 3. Steal to E, and it'll be E4. Ashley Westwood, 25. 33 in E is going to be defensive check. Block to D. Burnley wins at D7. That'll be Ben Mee. 16, 40 in D is header to B. Burnley wins at B6. Tarkowski in B, 43, and he fouls. He fouls Reed again. No card. Harrison Reed gets the worst of it. Hey, look at that, 24. So it's center justified. So my number there is fine. All right, so that's a foul. So it's free kick and X goes to C3. That'll be Bobby Reed. .63. That's a foul on Bobby Reed. Get a little chippy here. He fouls Josh Brownhill, the goal scorer. Maybe a little upset about getting caught out on the break before. No card. But now it'll be a free kick in X for Burnley. B2. That'll be McNeil in B. 41, though, is going to be 25 in B. Is going to be passed to C. Multiple passes, and McNeil gets it back. 24. 34 in C is a defensive check. Header to E. Burnley wins it, so it'll be E1. That'll be Chris Wood, the center forward. 24 again is going to be 40 in E. Header to E. Fulham wins it, so I'll go to X6. It'll be Mario Lemina. 22 in X. Pass to F. It'll be 10. It'll be Anthony Robinson in F. And 26 is a foul suffered. So he gets fouled with the ball. Wrong column there. Okay. Player ID 2 was the one who committed it. That would be Chris Wood. No foul. Or no card, I mean. But now it'll be a free kick in F. B7. That'll be Aina in B. 32 is 25 in B. Pass to Cavallero in C. 16 is 33 in C. It'll be a defensive check. Burnley steal to F. F10. Charlie Taylor, 34, is going to be 37 in F. Defensive check. Steal to F for Fulham. F9. We're in the 30th minute. Half an hour gone. 1-0 Burnley. It'll be Anderson in F13. 42 in F is header to X. Burnley wins it, so they'll retain in X. X6. Tarkowski, 65. 28 in X. Defensive check. Block to X. Burnley wins at X9. That'll be Matthew Lowton. 62 for Lowton is 21 in X. That'll be a pass to F. And he will keep it. 23. 26 in F is going to be defensive check. Header to X. Burnley wins at X7. Start back over again. 45 for Ben Mee is 27 in X. Defensive check. So Fulham is a 2. It's going to be a corner kick. So they're going to steal and they're going to come all the way down. It's going to be a blocked off for a corner kick. Third corner kick on the evening for the Cottagers. It'll be Lookman taking it. Pass to area B. Corner ID 6. So it'll be Lamina in B. 51 is 42 in B. Is a header to A. Burnley wins it, so they'll get it in X9. And a special result check. Roll 32. Ball stolen by opposition. Continue play with action procedure. So they'll get it in X. It'll be X. Let's do a quick refresh. X10. Anthony Robinson. Fulham has it. 46 is 31, and X is going to be a defensive check. Header to X. Burnley wins it. So X10, that'll be Charlie Taylor. 52 is 24 in X. That'll be a pass to Lowton in X. 61, 23 is going to be a pass in X to Goodmanson. But that's going to go out of bounds on the 45 on the 65. And so it'll be a throw in to Fulham. 36th minute. Going to 37th minute. E10. .44 in E is going to be out of bounds. Another throw in, this time for Burnley. X6. 21 is going to be 30 in X is defensive check. Fulham is rated 2. Steal D. It'll be D3. So Reed with the ball in a prime area. Let's see if they can generate anything out of it. 45, probably not. 28 in D is going to be E7. It'll be Aina. 24 is 42 in E. Header to X. Burnley wins it, so it'll be X8. What do we got here? Is that another 54? It is. Another special result check. 13. Ball kicked out of bounds. Throw in by opposing team from area X. So we'll say a throw in. It'll be X10. So Robinson gets it. 40th minute. 5 minutes left here in the first half. Not a whole ton of action, but enough to keep it going. 61 is 45. That'll be out of bounds. Throw in for Burnley. X7. That'll be me. 4 in X is going to be a pass to D, and it'll be to Chris Wood. 34, that's 47, that's offside. Leads to an indirect free kick for Fulham. D4. Anguissa. 36. 41 in D is going to be header to C. Burnley wins it, so it'll be X8. Yeah, well, I keep going back because we just have gotten a lot of higher team. And I mean, if you look at the possession numbers, they're close. 46 to 41 for Burnley. So anyway, so X8. So 51 is Goodmanson is 31 in X. Defensive check. Steal to D. D1. 44th minute, so we're getting close to halftime. Lookman in D. 42. 43 in D is going to be header to E. Burnley wins it, so X9. Give it 2 minutes through 47th minute. So 16 is going to be Loughton, is 44 in X. Out of bounds. Throw in for Fulham. D10, Anthony Robinson. And that's going to be a 1 in D, which will be a shot. Player ID 4. Harrison Reed is a 2, so it's going to be Anthony Robinson's shot number, 33. It's 55. That'll be off target. Reroll to decide if it's a corner. It's going to be a goalkeeper outlet for Burnley. F7. Me in F. 51 is 23 in F. F9. Be Loughton. 35 in F will be a defensive check. Steal to B. B4. This will be the last action here. Anguissa in B. 61 is 43 in B. Header to be Burnley wins it, and that will be it for the first half. 1-0 is your score. About an hour of that we've been going here. Let's see. So 1-0. We've got 5 shots for Fulham, 2 on target, 3 shots for Burnley, and only the 1 which they scored on target. And then possession stats, 51 to 45. Burnley ahead. It's about a 53%, which, you know, these don't really mirror exact. It'd be nice to have I should come up with a conversion chart where 53% with this method gets you like 58% or something like that. It's interesting because Burnley's had more possession, but it felt like the goal was a counterattack. So, all right, I'm going to take a 5-minute break here so I can take care of some personal business, so to speak, and we'll be back in a little bit for the second half of this exciting encounter between Fulham FC and Burnley FC. All right, back again. Trip to the outhouse and the concession stand. But we're now back, so we can finish out this barn burner. They call these relegation 6-pointers in jolly old England, because it's kind of like a 6-point swing, right? You lose this and your direct opponent for remaining in the Premier League basically gains 6 points on you. But bottom line is whoever wins this will definitely have a hand up on their opponent, as I'm chowing down. Let's see. I'm going to take a look at the table here. So if Burnley wins this, they're still on 18, but they get closer to my favorite team, which is Crystal Palace. Get 7 points. Fulham is the same thing. They'll basically leapfrog Fulham or Burnley if Fulham wins. So they will probably press on as the half goes on. That being said, only so much you can really do when it comes to all this stuff, and I kind of know how the season ends. Let's see. Not kind of. We do know in real life. Well, heck. I'm going to get started here in a second, but doing a little bit of research here on my phone. Football. Let's see, how do I get to the Premier League? Choose a league. Premier League, go. Please select the club. Let's select Fulham. Alright. Yeah, so they dropped in this season. They were 18th. So I think West Brom will eventually, if things go according to the way they went in real life, they will also drop. Yeah, Fulham, West Brom, Sheffield United are the ones that are. But, I guess West Brom, maybe they've played a match against an easier team. But I'll also say Fulham is in this season's Premier League. And they finished 11th, so we will see this game in the fall at some point. Fulham against Burnley, because they will both be in the Premier League. So, all right. Enough of this chit chat. Got my. Let me see. I gotta get this back up again so I can see the comments. Oh. All right. Well, nothing new on the comment. Feel free to if you want to, but we're gonna keep moving as I head back to table view. And I got to do a little bit of excuse me. A little bit of maintenance here. And there we go. Things are ready to rock and roll. Rocking and a rolling, rolling and a rocking. Bob Moran. Okay, so Fulham gets the ball to begin the second half. And let's just do a refresh. Kickoff E5. And let's roll away. That'll be Harrison Reed. 45 in E. 28 E is going to be F8. It's going to be Adara Bayoyo. F. 61. 23 and F is going to be passed to Anderson. In F. 65 is 25 and F. That's going to be X9. He'll have it again in, this time in X. 26, he'll be fouled. Player 7 for the foul commit. That's Goodmanson. And let's see, we can get our first card here. Nope. That'll be a free kick in X. C4. Anguissa. In C. 32 in C is going to be a defensive check. Burnley, steal to D. It's going to be D8. Goodmanson. 62 is 35 and D is going to be a defensive check. Block to F. Burnley wins it back. F7. Another special result. 35. Offside. Second offside on Burnley. It'll be an indirect free kick for Fulham. Goes to B. B3. That'll be Bobby Reed in B. 61, no, is going to be 45 and B is going to be out of bounds. 51st minute. Throw in E10. Taylor in E25. 34 and E. That'll be a defensive check. Header to F. Fulham retains. Fulham earns it. X0, X10. Anthony Robinson, 55. 39 and X. Header to F. Burnley wins at X3. Brownhill and X. 44 is going to be out of bounds. Throw in D9 for Fulham. $36 for Anderson and D. 37. A defensive check. Steal to X. It'll be X10 for Burnley. Uh, 46 will be out of bounds. 54th minute. Kind of streaming right along here so far. Throw in X7 for Fulham. Aina, that's going to be a foul committed on the goalkeeper. Pope. No card. Free kick in X for Burnley. B1. So Chris Wood in B. 53, though, is going to be 46. That'll be out of bounds. Throw in E9. Anderson in E12. 39 and E is going to be a header to D. Burnley wins at X8. Goodmanson 44 and X is 32. That'll be a defensive check. Header to X. Burnley wins it. X 10. Charlie Taylor and X. 31 is 31. That'll be a defensive check. Going to be stolen by Fulham, and they will earn another corner kick. Fourth corner kick of the game. Pass to B3. Be Bobby Reed. We have yet to get some real shot numbers here of late. Let's see what happens right here. 54. That's going to be another special result. We've gotten a lot of those in this game. 15. All right. Current player dribbles into the open and takes a shot that strikes the crossbar. Roll a 1 to 6. Follow the result. 1. Ball deflects over the goal into the crowd. Goal kick. So 1 is a goal kick. 2 to 5. Ball rebounds into area A. Loose ball chart. We already know Burnley gets this. So the only thing would be if it's a 6, we're going to roll the red die. If it's a 6, it's a goal. Otherwise, it's a 2. So no goal. It's going to be loose ball. Gains possession. So the defense gains possession on this. So it's going to end up. So that's a shot that's off target for Reed as it hits the crossbar. And it's going to be X10. Let's see. Fulham. Going to think about a change here. They're going to think you're going to get Ruben Loftus-Cheek warming up. We have a couple minutes here. Burnley's in the lead, so we can let them go for a bit. So Taylor in X, 41-30 in X is going to be defensive check, steal to F, F10 for Fulham. It'll be Anthony Robinson. 64 is 26 in X. That will be a defensive check. Block to E. Burnley wins at X8. $55 for Goodmanson is going to be 45. That'll be out of bounds. All right. Let's do the switch here. I'm going to take Mario Lemina out and bring in Ruben Loftus-Cheek. So Lemina will be the one that's subbed off. Defensive midfielder. So then we take, he's an offensive 10. We move everybody over, and then it's a choice of where we put him. We're going to leave Cavallero up a little farther up because he has more shot numbers. Because both him and Loftus-Cheek are rated 10 offense. So now I just need to do some. So Cavallero is an 8. Foul committed. Loftus-Cheek is 7. So he would be 7A. Wait, hold on. No, foul committed. He's going to be 1 more, right? Is that how that works? Let's see. Yeah, I think he's 7A. He's going to go between Cavallero and Lookman. Yeah, okay, so then foul suffered. He's 4. So he'll be 1A. And then Loftus-Cheek has a 0 rating, so he'll go. I think he can go where Lemina was. 7 is Cavallero. Okay. All right. Just a second here. I got to take care of something. Stupid fantasy baseball. Lineup needs to be set. I need to see if anybody is... if I can make any changes. Nope. Man, these managers that like to build their lineups based on straight platoons. I guess that's Craig Counsell for the Cubs. One of their best hitters, Michael Bush, and he's dropping them because I guess they're facing a lefty. Anyway, what did we have happen there? Should have written it down. I think it's going to be throw in for Fulham. This is pointing that direction, so let's just go with it. So Fulham makes a sub. Throw in F4. That'll be Bobby Reed now. 15 is 44 in F. Out of bounds. X8 for be Goodmanson in X. 24 is 25. That'll be X10, so that'll be a pass to Taylor. 38. Header to E. Burnley wins at E3. Brownhill gets it. 33 is a 3 in E. That'll be a shot attempt with player ID 6 for assists. That'll be Lowton, who has a 1. So no adjustment except for we subtract 3 for the zone E. So Brownhill goes from 21 down to 14. Pretty unlikely it's going to be on target, and sure enough, it's not. Then we will re-roll to see what the missed shot earns. It'll be a corner kick. Second corner of the game for Burnley. Okay. It's Westwood, right? Yep, Westwood on the corner. It'll be past area B. It'll be B4. We go off corner ID, which is a separate chart. B4. It'll be Westwood in B. 35. 44 in B is going to be header to C. Burnley wins at C2. Dwight McNeil in C. 16. 45 in C is going to be out of bounds. All right, let's look at Burnley for some subs. We'll go Robbie Brady. Fulham will also look for their second sub soon. It'll be Abubakar Kamara. Might look to come in for Harrison Reed. Anyway, it'll be a... First off, we have a throw-in. D5 for Fulham. That'll be Anguissa. 33 in D is going to be a defensive check. Header to X. Fulham retains, so X7. That'll be Aina, 31, and X, 22, and X is going to be a pass. F10. Anthony Robinson. 28. That'll be a defensive check. Header to X. Burnley wins it, so X3. Brownhill and X. 38 and X is going to be a header to E. Fulham wins at X7. Aina, 45 is 21 and X. It'll be F9. Pass to Anderson. 38 in F. It's going to be a header to B. Burnley wins it, though, so it'll be X4. Next stoppage, we'll make both subs. So it'll be Westwood 41 is 27 in X. That'll be defensive check block to E. Burnley wins it E7. Ben Mee. 36. That'll be defensive check. Steal to E. E7. Fulham gets it. Special result check. Aina. 65. I think this is one of the steal ratings. It's pass to area B, player's choice. Okay, well, I'm gonna pass to Lookman in B. All right, can we get a roll? Nope. 14 is 34 in B. That's gonna be a defensive check. Steal to X, X6. Tarkowski, 65, 28 in X is defensive check. Steal to A, it'll be A4. Bobby Reed in A, 54. We're getting all sorts of special result rolls. 35. Offside. There's a stoppage in play. A little bit of a frustrating game right here for both teams, but we're going to have a little break here to do some subs. 72nd minute. Still 1-0 Burnley, though. The visitors got an early goal, 5th minute, from Josh Brownhill, and have kept it together. And they will sub off. They're going to sub off the goal scorer, Josh Brownhill. Comes off. Round of applause from the away supporters. Brady is rated 3, so he's going to be down. Oh, well, he's going to be right at the back, which there are some special results. That's not such a good thing for us, so we may need to think about another defensive change at some point, but we will. I don't know. Having somebody back there, you can have a good pass, though, so you never know. All right, so just got to make some adjustments. Okay, so there's that one. Just so you can see what the adjustments look like, I cross these off and I have to add the adjusted ratings, the rating structure, and then Kamara. Midfielder. And it'll be, like I said, Harrison Reed will be the one that makes way for Kamara. We're getting close to having this ready to get restarted again. A couple of little. So Robinson's 9. All right, ready to go. One sub left for Fulham. 2 for Burnley. All right, so let's see. That was an offside, so this is an indirect free kick. B6 for Burnley. So it'll be me. 26, he gets fouled by player 4. That'll be Bobby Reed. No card. So that will be a free kick. Let's see. I think we're also going to make tactical changes. Going to match up 4-3-3 to 4-5-1 now. As Burnley is going to get defensive. And Fulham is going to try to take more shots. So, but we're going to have a free kick here from B. So we just need to rotate here. This has a decent chance to be a shot on goal or a shot. Nope, pass to B. B7. All right, that'll be Goodmanson and B. 36, 41 and B is going to be defensive check. Steal to D, D4. Also note there have been no formational changes by either team. Everything has stayed the same. So, but D4 now, it'll be Bobby Reed in D. 3 in D will be a shot, and player 4... looks like it'll be Aina who has a 1. But so there's no adjustment at all for Reed. 24. It's got to be 24 or less. And it's 12. That'll be a shot on goal. Bobby Reed. Now, we don't have enough clutch points for... in some cases, you can use clutch points to ensure a high degree of saving the shot, but in this case neither team has. There's 2 for Fulham, 4 for Burnley, so that's not enough. You need 5, so it's going to go off of Nick Pope's card here, and 31 is going to be a save and a goalkeeper outlet. So Fulham lacking the luck here tonight. F6. That'll be Ben Mee, 63. He fouls his opponent. It'll be Anderson. When you get to players 7, 8, 9... Well, 8 and 9, 6, 7, and 8 are a tough one on player ID because then especially once you start making subs, because then you have to come up with ways to you have to sort them in your head. So this is going to be a free kick from X for Fulham. D10. That'd be Anthony Robinson. 46 is 31 in D. It'll be a defensive check. Header to F. Burnley wins it, so it'd be X6. Ben Mee. 65, 28 in X. It'll be header to D. Burnley wins it. D9. Charlie Taylor, D. 40. So header to B. Burnley wins at B7. Goodmanson in B. 26 in B is going to be a C4. That'll be Vidra. 40 in C will be a header to A. Burnley wins A3. Westwood in close to goal. 51 is 25 in A. That'll be C2. Good spell of possession here. McNeil now in C. 56 is 42 in C is going to be a header to C. Burnley wins at C5. 26 for Tarkowski is going to be a foul suffered in C. Committed by player 4. 1, 2. Bobby Reed. Third foul on him. 16. That is going to be a yellow card in the 80th minute. So Reed now on a yellow. And going to get a last substitution for Fulham. Be a like for like swap here in a second for actually we'll make the changes right now. Mitrovic is going to come on for let's see. Bring him on for Aina. That's going to make a drop in team defense to 1. But so in the 80th minute, it's going to be Mitrovic. So we're taking a 3 defender off, and we're bringing in a 1 forward. So that's going to drop them below $20, or it's going to be 20 or less. So we're going to make a team defense adjustment for Fulham. They're going to go down to 1. And Burnley will bring on Ashley Barnes. He'll be a straight swap for Chris Wood. No, you just got to foul suffered. He's going to be the top guy foul suffered wise. No assist. All right. All right, I think we're ready to go. We're going to have a free kick in C for Burnley. Everything has been just shot on goal. Player 1. So it's going to be Ashley Barnes immediately taking the free kick. You'd think he without much time to warm up, but he calls for it and he takes the shot. It's on goal, and now we roll on Areola to see if Areola can make the save. 16 is going to be a goal. Immediately in the game, and that is a goal for Ashley Barnes. That makes it 2-0 Burnley. So looking like a bad day at home for Fulham. Second game in a row I've played here on the channel where the away team has gotten the better of the home team. Trying to make a little adjustment to my score bug here. That's a little better. Maybe. That's it. All right. 2-0. Now it's all on for Fulham. They have a few minutes here left to try and get this done. Kickoff E7. They only have 2 clutch points, so they can get a couple of decent passes in here as we get close to the end of the game. But okay, so Adara Bioyo, 53-31 in E is going to be a defensive check. Header to F. Burnley wins it, so X8. Matthew Lowton, 25-33. Defensive check, block to E. Burnley retains it, so it'll be E5. Tarkowski's 15 and E34 is going to be defensive check, header to X. Burnley wins at X7. Special result, 51. Steal to C, check player control, C2, shot. So it's going to be Dwight McNeil, a shot in C. Let's see, the player ID is 10, so it'll be Adara Bioyo who would have the assist on this if there's going to be one. But or no, wait. Did I say McNeil? I meant Mitrovic. So Mitrovic with Adara Bioyo would be the shot here from C. So 31. We get to add 1, so it makes it 32. Can they get one back here? 63. That's going to be off target. Can they get a corner out of it? No, it's going to be wide. That'll be a goal kick for Burnley. Goal kick goes to F10. So that'll be Robbie Brady in F. 55 is going to be 44 in F. Out of bounds. Throw in D5 for Fulham. That'll be Bobby Reed. No matter where he's been on the table, he's gotten his chances here to have it. 36. That'll be defensive check. Steal to C. C7 for Burnley. Goodmanson, 31 in C is going to be a defensive check. Header to X. Burnley gets it. X9. .26 for Taylor is going to be, that's going to be a foul suffered. Did it again. And then the foul committed by the top committed player, which would be Joaquin Anderson. No card. Free kick and X. B3. Westwood in B. 51 is 25 in B is going to be C3. Fulham will use one of their clutch points That'll be a steal to D, and they're going to get to choose Lookman for D. D1. 43 is going to be a foul committed by Lookman. Player 7. Oh boy. Looks like Goodmanson is the one who suffered it. No foul or no card. That'll be a free kick and X for Burnley. B6. Ben Mee, 55, 31 in B is going to be D3. And we're going to use the other clutch point for Fulham. Steal to D. They'll go D. They'll go D3, actually. I think Cavallero has a chance to maybe not as many fouls, but let's see what happens. 52, though, is going to be 22 in D. That'll be D3. Same thing. 42 is 41 in D. Header to C. Burnley wins X7. So that there are all of the clutch points for Fulham. It's going to be a rough close to this game. 2-0 looks like it will most likely be the final because we only have we're in the final minute of regulation, and then we will add 3 minutes of stoppage time. 32 for Goodmanson. 44. That'll be out of bounds. Throw in F3. Cavallero and F. 44 is 5, and F is going to be a shot. Top assist is Lookman. He's at 4, so we're going to have a net -4 off Cavallero, so down to 23. That'd be off target. Can they get a corner kick? Nope. Goalkeeper outlet. X10. So Robbie Brady, 16, and X is 30. That'll be a defensive check. Header to E. Burnley wins at E3. 32 for Westwood. 26 in EX8. Lowton, 23 is 26 in X. Is going to be another defensive check. Header to E. Fulham wins it this time. X5. Last rush of the game. X5 for Fulham. Reed in X is 33. 3 in X is going to be D1. Lookman in D. 32. 40 in D is header to B. Burnley wins at X8. That is the final whistle. Burnley goes into Craven Cottage and earns the 2-0 victory over the Cottagers. Goals by Brownhill and Ashley Barnes. Lead to a 2-0 final. Home crowd dejected. High hopes for this season are the realization starting to set in that it's going to be difficult to get points. That's going to be 7, 9 total shots and 3 on target. Not good enough. So 4-1 in the second half for them. Only 5 shots for Burnley. 2 on target and both in. $104 possession points to 88. that's going to be a 43, and that's going to be a 53. Percentage 54 to 46. 4 corner kicks for Fulham, 2 for Burnley, 2 offsides for Burnley, 1 for Fulham. Fouls 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. Yep, 8 for Fulham. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. Only 5 for Burnley. 1 yellow card for Fulham. No penalty kicks. And your goalkeeper stats. So it's going to be Fulham and Areola. 2 shots faced, no saves. And then for Burnley, it's going to be Nick Pope. He faced 3 and saved them all. So that's it from Craven Cottage on Memorial Day here. The real date for this game would have been December 2nd, 2020. And Burnley will move up to 7 points. Still will remain in the relegation zone in 18th place, but a big 3 points for them. Fulham, one of the easier games on their schedule. Still without a win. And yep, anyway. Thanks for watching this. Hi, Glenn. Yep, you're welcome. Hope everybody has a solid Memorial Day. I need to eat a little lunch. I had my my concession stand beef stick and cheese. It's one of these Jack's Lynx jobbers, and I had a little carbonated water. But I need something a little more substantial, and then I got to get out the grill parts and get those all scrubbed down for making some some tube steak later. A little hot dog grilling on Memorial Day. Nothing too exotic. Keeping it simple. Got to make sure the grill will do its duty for another year. Otherwise, may have to get another one. So, have a blessed day today, guys. See us back here soon on Tenacious Sports. Hit the like button if you enjoy watching soccer, enjoy watching baseball, just enjoy watching sports here on YouTube. If you're a first-time viewer and think this is something for you, hit subscribe. There's also lots of other YouTube places, etc., where you can find this kind of stuff. So anyway, hang in there and see you back here soon.